Hi, welcome to another edition of Tales of the Keg here on ESPN Tucson.com. I'm your host, Larry Mack. Once again, on our monthly visit with Rocco from Rocco's Little Chicago Pizzeria. How you doing, Rocco?
Great. How you doing, Larry, and people out there in radio and Facebook and everything land?
Yeah, out there on the internets.
Yes, on the internets.
So thanks for joining us again this month. The weather is starting to get a tad bit warmer, getting ready for spring to come on board. What do you got on tap right now this month over at Rocco's?
We got a lot of nice crisp beers that you can enjoy while availing yourself of our patio, or take home with our half price growler sale Monday through Thursday. A lot of the nicer, lighter things that we have for you are some local selections, like we have the Borderland Citrana Goes on tap right now. That's it's a crisp and slightly sour beer. It's really mouth-watering and goes great with pizza and chicken wings and everything, and also just good for drinking a pitcher with your pal out on the patio.
Oh, great. What else you got going?
Let's see, we got Dragoon's Santa Cruiser is always a good rotator. We keep that on at least once a month, and that's just an easy drinking pale ale from local faves Dragoon, who always brew some of the best balanced beers in town. Let's see what else we got. We've got we were lucky to score a keg of Daisy Cutter from Half Acre, who's a favorite Chicago brewer, and that's another pale ale. That's a little headier than the Santa Cruiser, and very crisp and delicious. It's always a crowd pleaser.
Are you heading now because the weather's getting warmer to a little bit more of the lighter beers?
Yeah, we always keep a light beer on tap, but now we might have a light and a sour for you to try. When the weather's cooler, we always have a few malty beers and dark beers on tap too.
Okay. And right now we're kind of like, living in Arizona, living in Tucson, we never really have a total cold snap. It's, always somewhere between 50 and 70 degrees in the winter, a few
Right.
now and then.
Yeah, our cold snaps are a good day in the Midwest, so I'm always happy to see them.
Well, and me too, exactly. So if you're going to pair some of the first one you talked about, what would you pair that with again?
Well, the pale ales are always good with pizza because they are hoppy, but they're not overwhelmingly hoppy, so it doesn't cover up the flavor of pizza and stuff, and it goes well with the maltiness of the crust and stuff like that, because they're usually pretty balanced compared to a more heady heady IPA or something like that. We have a couple other middleweight beers like Santan up in Phoenix, Epicenter Amber. That's good with everything, and that's dark enough to enjoy if you're a dark beer lover, and also light enough to enjoy if you just want something to drink with your food. Marble up in Albuquerque is brewing a really good red ale. We have that in stock right now, and we always try to get the King Crimson from up in Flagstaff every once in a while. That's another red ale, and also has a really cool name. So
with a lot of these beers that you're selling, a lot of these brews that you're selling, what is the alcohol content like compared to something that they could buy at a store?
Well, you can buy most of these at stores.
Well, I'm talking about like the big name brands.
Your American adjunct. Yeah, your American adjunct lager, which is like your Budweiser style beer, is usually about 4.5 to 5.5% alcohol. Some of these pale ales go up to like 7%, and IPAs you can get 8.5%. And we occasionally have other styles like double IPAs, or like a Belgian beer that might go up to 10% alcohol, but we'll warn you ahead of time. And actually, people seek those out because if just because it's 10% alcohol doesn't mean we're charging it twice as much for that. So
yeah, so you want to make sure they're careful, especially if they're going to hop in the car after they eat dinner and head home.
Totally.
You want to make sure. So what else you got on bottles this month?
Our favorite cans are always our old style lager, which is the historic Chicago dad beer and Midwestern favorite. And also we have half liters of Walter's Pilsner, which is a real German Pilsner, and we sell those for like $3. So if you want a good crisp beer that's not going to break the bank, get a Walters and you won't be disappointed.
Now, if somebody wants to order like if they order online or they call ahead of time to order some food, can they take the beer home with them? I know you mentioned the growlers. Can they take the cans home or the bottles home as well?
No, not anymore. That little loophole that we were enjoying earlier in the pandemic is gone now.
Okay.
But so the growlers are your best bet. So look at our tap list at taphunter.com and see what we have. You can plan your beer assault that way.
So explain to somebody if they're just tuning into this for the very first time, what is a growler?
A growler is basically just a jug that we fill with draft beer
Hmm.
and cap off for you, and then we have to put a little piece of tape on it. So it supposedly makes it to your house untampered with.
Well, that's the law, I would think too.
It's the law.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
How does that do for you? Do people come in and do the growlers? You have your own growlers as well, don't you, that you sell?
Yeah, yeah, we print our own growlers. We'll also fill your growlers. Our growlers are 32 ounce, but if you bring 4 ounce in and you really want one of these beers we have on tap for you.
Oh, that's great. And then, what do you got special wise this month as far as food? Is it? I know your menu changes on occasion, but it's always delicious pizza. I know that for sure.
Well, it is. If we're catching you guys before Valentine's Day, make sure that you call ahead for a reservation because we're going to be filled up. Because we're only at half capacity. And also, if you want one of our heart-shaped deep dish pizzas for two, call ahead for that too, because we only have two pans and it gets a little hairy trying to swap them out.
I can imagine that. So speaking of the patio, and you got this different capacity because of everything going on with the pandemic. You guys still have that new patio that you built, or the tent that you built outside in the back parking lot?
No, we got rid of that. It was kind of a hazard. Our parking lot's pretty small now that they're doing some construction. So instead of uh, being in the way of parking, we're giving you another place to park. So we're down to our regular normal size with half capacity, but it's still quite a few people and but safely. And we do have heaters out on the patio for when it does get kind of nippy at night. So plan ahead for a good time.
So you're saying the best bet to do is go to the website, rockoslittlechicago.com,
Yeah.
or call you guys and make a reservation ahead of time because obviously with the capacity limits now, you want to make sure people can get in and not have to wait too long.
Right. And there's really not too much waiting on weekdays, but Friday through Sunday, and especially with Valentine's Day being on a weekend, it's going to get a little hairy. So make sure you give us a call.
All right. And what's that phone number?
It's 321-1860, Larry. That's 321-1860.
All right. You should be a DJ, Rocco.
Yeah.
So, I always kind of wondered, we've never talked about this in the past. What got you into serving the craft beers? What got you into selling the bottles of the craft beer? Was it something that you discovered on your own as a hobby and then decided to bring into the business?
Well, yeah, back in the dark ages when I was in my 20s, I brewed beer like a lot of people who started craft breweries. And also, like, I remember we used to try to get a different beer every week, right when the whole craft thing was starting out. It's this week it'd be Pete's Wicked Ale, which no longer exists, or you know, or Sam Adams. These were things that were new and just on the market, or Sierra Nevada, or New Belgium. And I just got into it that way. And also, I lived in Germany for a while, so I knew what good beer was supposed to taste like. And I was
Hmm.
just glad to be getting a domestic product that was as good or better than that.
And so that's what got you into doing it and you have six taps.
Yeah, I have six taps, and that the beers do stick around for a few days, but keep checking it out at our website at rockoslittlechicago.com or our Tap Hunter feed, and you'll be able to find what we have on tap before you even leave the house.
All right. And it's updated constantly from what I understand as well.
Yep, yep.
And then obviously you mentioned you touched on it a little while ago. You were talking about the construction. Um, Before we get into that, why don't you tell everybody where you're located and then let's talk about the construction, its progress so far.
Yeah, we're at 2707 East Broadway on the beautiful Sunshine Mile. That's between Tucson Boulevard and Country Club, north side of the street. And there is Broadway widening project in progress. As if you've never been down there or haven't been down there recently, it's a little daunting, but just drive slowly and follow the signs. There's really not a lot of traffic on Broadway compared to how it used to be because people are wary of the construction. So it won't take you any longer or is more dangerous to get to Rocco's than it used to be. It's just a little more congested. That's all.
All right. And you're not seeing it's not really affecting you guys then. That's good.
Yeah, it could be worse. I'll give you that. I'll
All
give you
right.
that.
All
And
right.
there's a short stretch of dirt to drive down, but you'll figure it out. The signage is pretty good, and nobody's gotten stuck yet. So
And then when are they predicting the end of the construction?
it's supposed to be done by November of this year.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're in the, I wouldn't say the home stretch, but we're the beginning of the end.
Okay, cool. Maybe over halfway point.
Absolutely, yeah. It
Oh,
started a year ago this month, so we're definitely over halfway. A lot of the really big construction, like putting in the drainage and stuff, is already done past us. So we're looking at paving pretty soon and some street lights and landscaping. So by the end of the summer, you should be seeing that stuff happening.
all right. Well, let's get back to beer real quick since this is Tales of the Keg. So I had a question. If so, say somebody has never experienced craft beer. They're their basic experience in life is drinking the domestic beers. What would
Sure.
you recommend if they're coming to Rocco's and they want to maybe experiment with getting into craft beer? But you get some crazy craft beers sometimes. You've told me some of the different flavors and stuff. What would you recommend? How would somebody start out?
Well, we always keep something on tap that is approachable. That doesn't mean that it's boring,
Mhm.
but that means that it's not too aggressively hopped or excessively alcoholic. And something like the Santa Cruiser from Dragoon is a perfect example of somebody getting into craft beer. Or like I said, the Epicenter Amber, it's a dark beer, but it's not, it doesn't taste like coffee or something. It's just a little bit more flavor without being aggressive, but also interesting enough that if you like craft beer, you can enjoy it too. So my servers know what to tell you. They'll steer you in the right direction, and we've always got something on that is approachable enough for a craft beer novice and would go good with our food as well.
See, that's important too. You got to have servers there that know what they're talking about when it comes to it. Do you
Sure,
train them on the beer or?
most of them are self trained. Uh, but we do we do sample all the beers that come in when we get a new can or bottle or a new tap. If you haven't had it, you're welcome to try it because it's your responsibility to know the product just like you know our food. So
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, because I've been to other restaurants in the world, where you go, "Hey, what's this taste like?" I don't have no idea. You're the waiter. You're the server. How do you not know what this is? It's nice to know that you can go there, especially if you're a novice to craft beer, and have somebody go, "That might be a little bit too aggressive for you at this point. Let's take baby steps to get you there," or something like that.
right, you don't have to be a sommelier or something for to know what red wine tastes like, but
Hmm.
you should at least be able to lie your way out of a paper bag to your.
Oh, the truth, my friend, the truth. Hey, so anything else going on this month that you want to talk about happening over at Rocco's?
Well, it's not as we speak. It's National Pizza Day, which is the 9th of February. But for some reason, that seems to come up like bi-weekly. There's some kind of pizza celebration. So as far as I'm concerned, and as far as everybody out there should be concerned, every day is National Pizza Day
I agree with you there wholeheartedly, 100%. And beer day.
and Beer Day. Indeed,
And then again, let's give out your website one more time.
it's roccoslittlechicago.com. Can't
All righty.
can't forget that.
Hey, Rocco, thanks again. Anything else you want to hit before we wrap things up?
That's great, man. We love to see you, and don't be scared of Broadway. We're still there, man.
All right. Check them out. Get more details at rockoslittlechicago.com. Phone number one more time.
321-1860. That's 321-1860.
Give them a call ahead of time to get that reservation. Don't forget they're packed on the weekend, so get that reservation, but pretty easy to get in Monday through Thursday, right?
Yep, absolutely.
All right. Rocco, thanks again. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Larry. Take care.
Thank you. That's another episode of Tales of the Keg here on ESPN Tucson.com.